Good morning, Mo'eva Botei. Be'ez Hashem, Mincha is going to be 7:15. Please be on time. The halachot Muktze, continuing, we were discussing basis davar asur. There is one important qualification and rule when something can become a base and prohibited, like the object that's on top of it, like the Muktze object on top of it. And that is that he has to do it because he is the owner. But if somebody who is a friend or a neighbor or some other Jew puts an item that is Muktze on top of his item that is not Muktze, it doesn't become Muktze as a result of his friend's action. And this is a concept in the Torah. The concept in Hebrew is called En Adam Oser Davar She'eno Shelo. You cannot prohibit something that does not belong to you. And since this person who put the object on top of someone else's item, you cannot go ahead and make it Muktze. The case would be, let's say he went ahead and put on top of someone else's chair. He put, let's say, intentionally, not unintentionally, he put a computer. He put a cell phone. He's like, I want this to remain here the entire Shabbat. And he did it intentionally. It does not make the chair Muktze, which would mean that you would be able to take the chair, move the item, shake off the item, and use the chair, 100%. Because En Adam Oser Davar She'eno Shelo. Now, it is important to qualify, even though the Gemara says it generally and the poskim say a very general language that you cannot prohibit something that belongs to your friend, all of that is only in matters of intent, not in action. Meaning a person could take non-kasher meat, put it into the pot of his friend, and prohibit his friend's food. Of course, when it comes to actions, a person could prohibit something that doesn't belong to him, because the situation is the situation regardless of who did it. However, here, when it comes to Muktze, the reason we use this concept is because, as we mentioned a few days ago, when it comes to basis, intent matters. So it's a question of intent. Did you intend to put it here? Because if you didn't intend, then it cannot make the other item Muktze. So it's not just an action, it's an action that has to be coupled with intent. And since that's the case, if the owner did not have the intent and someone else did, we say his intent cannot prohibit the item that belongs to the owner. If it's something that doesn't require intent, it's just a raw act, of course, one would be permitted. Let's say a person had a cow and somebody else came along and instead of slaughtering the cow, he shot the cow. You don't say, hey, you can't prohibit my animal on me. Of course he could, because you needed an action of slaughtering and it wasn't done. So the animal becomes asur. There it's not a question of intent. But here, in order for it to be prohibited, it needs to have intent to be placed, and since his friend's intent cannot count, En Adam Oser Davar She'eno Shelo, therefore the item underneath is not deemed to be Muktze because of basis. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen.